Oma had the ball in Linfield's net after just 4 minutes, but put there by the hand of not Maradona but Mark Donnelly, it was disallowed. A goal was allowed 3 minutes later. Noel Bailey's corner and Glenn Hunter put Linfield 1 up. Oma then went close first when Eamon Kavanagh's free kick clipped the bar. And then with the Blues defence at 6s and 7s, Paul Dunyan put a good chance wide of the mark. On the hour, Linfield got a penalty when Hunter's shot was handled by Declan McColgan. Richie Johnson's kick was saved by Glenn Livingston and McGahey blasted the rebound against the bar. 13 minutes from time, Linfield went 2 up. Bailey's run started it, Hunter took over and he veered left to angle in his second of the game. Oma scored with just 4 minutes left. Donnelly's shot saved by Alan Patterson, but sub Seamus Bonner squeezed in the rebound. 2-1 to Linfield.
8 minutes later, Ards equalised. Darren Erskine beating Alan Patterson at the far post. But an absolute gem from Lee Docherty gave Linfield a 2-1 lead at half-time. 2 minutes into the second half, Ards were in level terms. Again, it was Darren Erskine. But there was to be a second Linfield goal for Docherty. Stephen Baxter was to make it 4, picking up a rebound off the upright. And from a corner, Baxter flicked on for Martin McGahey to get his second and Linfield's 5th. And that keeps the Blues at the top of the table. But they're just there by a single point from old rivals Glentoran, who had a 2-0 win over Distillery. Portadown, the reigning champions, are a further 3 points adrift, and 4 points further behind are Oma Town.
Form and history made them firm favourites, and all was going according to plan when McGahey gave them a third-minute lead from a Bailey cross. Oma could have crumbled, and might have, had not they hit back instantly, Kavanagh's corner being back-headed home by McColgan. On 51 minutes, Oma were stunned by a penalty award, apparently for pushing by McGuinness. The arguments became academic when Baxter hit the spot kick high. Linfield's problems mounted when McCormick, who had been booked earlier, was sent off for dissent. Oma rubbed in their advantage by scoring a second, not unlike their first, Harry McCourt with space aplenty to convert Kavanagh's corner. The best was kept for last. Oma well in charge now, confirming their victory with a terrific strike by Marty Woodhead. Their first senior trophy had arrived. Crusaders' goal on the half-hour was simplicity itself. Lawler tapping the ball along the line, Tommy Parker flicking it back for Roddy Collins with time and space to knock it in. Then a free on the left, came off Cash and a defender, was brilliantly touched out by Patterson, Cash blasting the ball over. Linfield did most of the pressing in the second half, Hunter coming mightily close with his header from a corner. The miss of the match though from Crusaders, a similar move, Stewart heading on the corner. Cash couldn't believe how free he was. He'll remember this miss. 1-0 it remained.
Mitchell booted the ball towards the Linfield net. Keeper Patterson saved from embarrassment by the crossbar. After 38 minutes, Linfield's lively striker Lindsay Curry fired in a great effort which ended up in the side netting. 0-0 it stayed until the break. The second half was a more lively affair, Patterson coming to the rescue of Linfield after a poor back pass by Dornan allowed Campbell in with the shot. Then the game livened up for all the wrong reasons, Mitchell and Curry becoming involved in an off-the-ball incident. Both were booked by referee Davy McGill. Linfield tried hard to break the deadlock, but Portadown keeper Mickey Keenan was always on his game. And Linfield's run of misery continued in the 71st minute with John Easton taken off with a severe leg injury. 4 minutes later came the goal. Russell's cross missed Stevie Khan, but Martin Russell was there to hammer the ball to the net. An excellent finish and enough to put the Ports into the semi-finals of the Shield competition.
Glentoran scored first after half an hour. Gary Hillis and then Gary McCartney involved, leaving Raymond Morrison to find the bottom corner. 6 minutes later it was 2-0. Justin McBride's corner and John Devine's header flew in just below the crossbar. Then came 3 Linfield goals in 5 minutes to put the Blues on top. The first followed Alan Dornan's free kick. Stephen Baxter and David Jeffrey caused problems in the box and Lindsay Curry got the vital touch. Linfield's second had a superb build-up. Curry, Stephen Beattie and the overlapping Alan Dornan opened the Glens up and Martin McGahey was there with the finish. A minute later the Blues got their third. Baxter again posed problems in the air, and Stephen Beattie was there to slide in the left footer. Both sides went close in the second half, but after McCartney's shot was blocked in 71 minutes, Raymond Campbell beat the unsighted Alan Patterson. 3-3, and a great advert for Irish League football.
Extra here. The goal was an unfortunate affair for him though. Lindsay Curry beating Nutt and chipping in a perfect cross to Baxter, who was luxuriating in a totally unmarked position. His header deflected past Saunders off tab. Well, Curry must wonder how he didn't score himself. After finding himself in perfect positions, a Baxter cross, Nutt making a terrible mess of the clearance, Curry over the top. And then virtually after an action replay. Baxter and Curry were combining very well to set up the chances. Putting them away was the problem. In the second half, Easton lobbed one high into the area. Curry controlled it well and crossed, only for Baxter to uncharacteristically miss. But Martin McGahey was having an uncommonly quiet afternoon, usually a sign that he's just about to score. Not this time though. Yes, Curry with the cross, Bailey fluffing the first effort, and McGahey over the top off Stitt. Cliftonville themselves were very subdued up front, their only real chance coming late on. Mind you, it would have earned them a point. Gary Clark just missing the connection from Jim McFadden. Things got going at Windsor Park as early as the first minute. Bailey slipping through the pass to Glenn Hunter. A very good turn from him, a great shot as well, and it was nicely stopped by Keenan. Linfield though, they lost the services of Lee Docherty after about 10 minutes, Stephen Beattie getting an early run out. On 22 minutes, John McConnell was booked for a deliberate handball. Not punishment enough as far as the Ports were concerned. Marty Russell it was who took the free kick. Stevie Cowan seemed to be free and easy to prod home his 22nd of the season. And it seemed that Linfield couldn't get to grips with Portadown's set pieces. Campbell hitting the side netting, again after Russell had set things up. And it was a Spears free kick in the second half that nearly let Linfield in. Jeffrey nodding the ball on to Beattie, who lobbed the keeper, but unfortunately for him, also the bar. 9 minutes from time, Linfield thought they'd shared it. A Dornan throw, a McGahey flick, and Ricky Wade was on hand to nod it in. Portadown's winner, a few minutes later, was a gift for Cowan and a nightmare for Spears. But what a vital goal it might prove to be at the end of the season. Well, that certainly couldn't be said of Crothers Park Banbridge. A bit of class from Curry and McGahey, laying it on for Beattie and Linfield's opener after 20 minutes. But the Blues never expected an easy ride, and it certainly wasn't that. Spears deflecting Buchanan's shot for a corner on 58 minutes. The defence seemed to leave the back post unmanned. Curran took advantage and scored straight from the corner. Linfield, though, thought they'd won it with a typical McGahey strike. He just can't be left in positions like this. But in the last minute, McConnell stopped a Buchanan drive with his arm. And despite the many protests, a penalty it was. Scapitici held his nerve. Banbridge live again. The first the Linfield goals, the second the Brian Hanley show. The former Linfield keeper could do nothing to actually stop the Blues winning though. They dominated from start to finish. The opener in 9 minutes, fittingly from John McConnell, Saturday's penalty victim, slotting home after Bailey and Beattie had combined on the left. Banbridge had a chance to equalise shortly afterwards. Noel McQuaid finding himself with a free header, but Patterson was equal to it. On 25 minutes, Breen's mistake led him McGahey. In an unselfish moment, he slid it across to Beattie to complete the formalities. Then 13 minutes later, a Beattie cross flicked on by McGahey set up Lindsay Curry for a spectacular turn and shot. That was the extent of the scoring, thanks to Brian Hanley with some second half magic. A lob ball brought down by McGahey, normally a routine goal for him. Hanley stretched superbly to push it off the post. He was showing off a bit after that. Baxter preparing to celebrate this time, a tap to the left-hand post. Nothing to it really. The move of the match was all down to Dornan. A neat 1-2, a brilliant run down the right. The defence had nothing left by this stage. It looked so simple for Lindsay Curry. This time the bar wasn't to be left out. And just before the end, another brilliant save from Hanley, Beattie's cross, McGahey's header, and the fitting end to an excellent tie. 3-0 to Linfield, Banbridge Town richer from the experience.